Hey, so listen, this is not the most important story, but we all need a little comedic relief every once in a while. And last night on Tucker Carlson's Fox News show, guest after guest lost their connection. And I don't know why, but I just found it hilarious. I think part of it is the look on Tucker Carlson's face every time his guests would lose connection. Now, I want to be really, really clear. Texas is having power outages right now. One of the guests who loses their internet connection is former Republican Governor Rick Perry, and Tucker Carlson mentions him being in Texas. Now, I don't know if the storms are actually the reason Rick Perry loses internet, and all of his guests, even the ones not in Texas, were losing connection. So it may have nothing to do, but we are not making light of what is happening in Texas right now, people without power. Okay, that's not what this is about. I think what's funny is Tucker doing his confused face every time it happens. So if you're only listening, that will be an element that you won't be able to observe unless you take a look at the video versions of this. But let's jump right into it. Here is former Texas governor, former Trump administration Secretary of Energy Rick Perry losing his connection. And Tucker tries to at least blame it on Rick's connection, although I doubt whether that's what's going on. Let's take a look.
So I love Texas. Don't want to attack Texas. On the other hand, the most basic responsibility of government, you'd think, is to keep the power on, especially when people need it to survive. They didn't. Why? I should say that Rick Perry is in Texas. It sounded like he was in space, but he's not. He's in Texas. He has no power. That's being run, I think, on a generator. He's proving the point that we're making. Governor, we're going to put you on hold for a second to see if we can get the power back on in your state.
Okay, so maybe it's the storms there, but then in comes Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, a Republican governor who was going on Tucker's show to brag about how they're just opening it wide open in Florida, regardless of the virus, and he loses his connection. Now, at this point, you can't blame the power outages in Texas for Ron DeSantis losing his connection. Can you? Take a look.
No one ever says that out loud. I mean, how could you ignore something that the data show? Oh, I'm afraid we've lost Governor DeSantis. Can you hear me, Governor?
I can't hear.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I can hear the governor. He cannot hear me. I just want to say for the record that unlike as in Texas tonight, I think the power is still on in Florida. Fewer windmills in the state than there are in Texas. So that's the good news. But for some reason, the governor couldn't hear us. We'll be back in just a moment. A lot going on.
I was having a grand old time rewatching these this morning. It's also very poetic that a connection was lost because these are two people, Rick Perry and Ron DeSantis, who lost their connections with reality a long time ago. And I would actually argue that this was Ron DeSantis's best public statement ever, just losing his connection and being unable to say anything. He came off looking way better than he normally does when he's able to speak. And notice Tucker Carlson throwing in a dig at wind farms there, sort of laughing at windmills. And I think the idea there is that Tucker wants to frame anybody relying on wind farms can't possibly be keeping the power on compared to burning fossil fuels, which I guess is seen as manly and alpha among the American right. No opportunity to attack clean energy that Tucker Carlson won't avail himself of. And I mean, listen, being Texas, I'd almost expect Tucker to blame the power outages or the loss of connection on some migrant caravan approaching the border, which seems to be a catch-all anytime they need to blame anybody for anything, maybe even Antifa. But many tech problems happening on Tucker Carlson's program last night. I don't know why. I was laughing to myself this morning. Just really got a kick out of that one. One of our sponsors today is Nebbia, the creator of the world's most innovative shower head. It uses only about half the water that other shower heads do, saving you money, helping the environment, but it's actually a lot more powerful than other shower heads on the market. It has twice the coverage of other shower heads. The water sprays with a ton of pressure. I've been using it in my bathroom at home. I love it. Only took a few minutes to set up, really easy, and it's been a totally different experience than any other shower head I've used. I can get in and out of the shower way quicker now because of how powerful it is. It only takes a few seconds to get completely rinsed off. So I was actually amazed that it's only using about half as much water. Nebia also offers a number of shower accessories like shelves and curtains, which match perfectly with the design of the shower head. The shower head starts at just $199, but the first 100 people who go to Nebia.com/Pakman and use code Pakman will get 15% off all Nebia products. The link is underneath this video.